Moon in ninth house in Capricorn Ascendant. Moon in ninth house. The moon is a well-perceived benefic presence whose immense goodness and softness is the only reason behind adverse impacts. Besides this, the arrival of moon in the ninth house would bring most of the moon shades upon the native score with a special fantastical blend of moon. The natives of this placement having moon in ninth house would be truly fantastical and imaginary in their approach towards life, as they would lack the practical understanding at large. The natives having moon in ninth bhava will see at everything with imaginary vision and will perceive their own world beyond the sky and will firmly believe upon the same as well, but they are quite imbalanced at their mind. They are highly curious in their approach. These people having moon in ninth house are sincere in their attitude and are strong followers of spiritual and philosophical norms and beliefs. They are affectionate and warm in their approach and possess pure thoughts, but moon keeps them unsatisfied with their present at most of the times. Their mind always asks them to move somewhere far away from the present place, and so on. They are perceived to travel much in life and would perceive the knowledge of variant people and their culture. This is a pacifier of mental restlessness of these native having moon in ninth bhava. The ninth house is ruled by planet Jupiter, for which the native will receive the impacts of planet Jupiter as well, besides which the friendly relation between the Jupiter and moon would bring positive results to the person. These natives would have a life path of 75 octoskins, besides which it will bring comforts and pleasures from the sun and truly keeps the person upon the spiritual and moral path. Besides this, a positive placement in the third house would endow the person with great prosperity and wealth. These natives moon in ninth bhava should keep the things associated with moon inside the house like square piece of silver. They should offer milk to snakes and rice to fishes and should serve laborers with milk. Moon in Virgo. Virgo is known to be a calculative zodiac sign, ruled by Mercury, which also stands for intellect and is a neutral earthy planet. The relationship between Mercury and moon is neutral. When moon is positioned in Virgo, the native usually has an attractive face and body. Such a person has a way with words, is an eloquent speaker. There is a sense of truthfulness and purity in their persona. These people often indulge in religious pursuits and are kind humanitarians who are compassionate to other beings. It is difficult to label their emotional nature as sentimental, but that doesn't mean that they are unemotional either. Their feelings and emotional nature is complex. You get hurt quite easily, and there is at times an inferiority complex in you. You are more driven by your intellect and logic than emotions and instincts. Whatever you say and do is always backed by logic and common sense. You are a practical person who accepts the reality as it is. You like to help and take care of needy people. You also have a philosophical bent of mind and good ability to learn. Professions like teaching, astrology, mathematics and business suit you the most. Seventh Lord in the ninth house. Seventh Lord is placed third house from itself. It means the person get good luck from spouse and rise after marriage. The spouse is supportive and help in fulfilling duties of spouse. Spouse can be of foreign or different culture. Moon in 10th house in Capricorn Ascendant. Moon in 10th house. The moon is one of the most pleasant presents, but could also appear somewhat difficult at times, while on the other hand, it lacks at the aspects of power and rules over creativity. Here, the arrival of moon in 10th house would definitely bring the contented pictures of professional and social life, but with some instability. The people of this placement having moon in 10th house would seek towards attaining high mounts in the professional arena, for which they would try their efforts in various paths and would give their best to develop a strong plateau for themselves in the social enclosure. They are very much concerned about their presence and stand in the world and feel satisfied and peaceful when they receive good attention and admiration. They could be in marketing, shipping commodities or professions serving the public somehow. The natives of this placement moon in 10th bhava would carry a blend of emotions even in their vision towards career path, as their professional decisions would be somewhat influenced with their sentimental preferences, while on the other hand, they keep on trying to protect their vulnerable core. They are emotionally craved towards success and achievements which would take them towards heights, but it's a difficulty as well. Their immense emotional side could be a problem in their professional path. The natives of this placement are very much sincere towards their goals, as they want to do something appreciable in life and something that would satisfy their family, as it gives them immense happiness to come up to others' expectations and as well as of themselves, while not being able to reach them would be a reason for their distress. The 10th house is ruled by planet Saturn and is affected by the placement of 4th bhava, which is ruled by Moon, and so on. It develops a pleasant relation between the Saturn and Moon. Here the placement of Moon in the 10th bhava bestows longevity to the native, that is an age of almost 90 years. But the natural inimical relationship between the Saturn and Moon will leave liquid medicines harmful for the person. Milk will prove poisonous in night, while if the native would be in a medical profession, then dry medicines given by him, her would be magically beneficial for others. These people having Moon in 10th bhava would acquire great success and affluence in the surgery professions. Besides this, the vacant 2nd and 4th bhava would bestow him, her heavy influence, while if Saturn gets placed over the ascendant, then the native would spoil her life due to opposite sex, as especially with widower. He or she would receive great benefits from the profession associated with Saturn. The natives of this placement of Moon in 10th bhava are advised to pursue religious rituals and to pay respect and worship to deities, as it would further enhance the fortune of the person. They should never have milk in the night and should stay away from immoral liquor, non-vegetarian food and adultery, as that will keep the adverse impacts away. They should keep a container filled with rain or river water within the house for 15 years, as it will keep the evil impacts of Moon away from the person. Moon in Libra. Libra is a sign of balance, ruled by Venus, which is a feminine watery planet inimical towards Moon. The energy of two feminine planets that concern with emotions and passions often make the native tolerant, understanding, and generous. There is a heightened interest in sexual affairs, though due to intense passion and sensuality. Such a person is quite emotional in nature. While you are an ambitious person, you sometimes depend upon others for your living. Females have a strong influence in your life. Mostly, you are strongly attached to your mother. You are a sociable person, who likes to lend a helping hand to others. You have a broad perspective and an accommodating nature. You are a justice-seeking individual, who likes to establish peace and pleasantness. Moon in Libra also gives you attractive looks. Your words work like a balm to the emotionally wounded people. You like to help your relatives and maintain a cordial relationship with them. You are a polite but diplomatic person, have a way with words and a strong power of persuasion. You have a strong desire to be rich and famous. You are quite skillful in your work and also own property in your life. 7th Lord in the 10th house. 7th Lord is placed 4th house from itself. It means the person may get spouse who is caring and loving. The spouse is working and a source of income. And the spouse career-oriented, can be helpful in uplifting the career. Moon in 11th house in Capricorn Ascendant. Moon in 11th house. The Moon is the most pleasant and warm presence of celestial arena, for which it is a well-perceived benefic presence, while the same softness could also bring problems at times. The arrival of Moon in the 11th house would bring positive impacts and would bless the person with a blissful and happy life. The natives of this placement of Moon in the 11th house would be truly warm and humanitarian from the core, as they would carry the approach for the goodness of all around. They would carry many true relations around and would develop great friendships comprising most of women. They feel secure in relationships, as it could be said that relations are their need. They possess immense emotions and so on, respect others' emotions. The natives of this placement having Moon in the 11th house possess variant passions and dreams, but at the whole they desire deep to reach the high mounts and carry high aspirations, and in all that they always remain unselfish, but being quite unstable in their approach, they could often change their future plans. These people having Moon in 11th bhava needs to be quite firm and stable in their path, as that will bring them great success. The 11th house in the horoscope chart receives the influence of planet Jupiter and Saturn, for which this house would provide the results from this combination. The arrival of Moon on 11th bhava would adversely affect the native's sun, while if Ketu gets placed over the 4th bhava in the horoscope chart, then it will bring negative impacts to the native's mother. The profession associated with Mercury would not bring benefits if the Moon would be malefic here. These natives should not buy or begin the construction of house on Saturday and should not pursue Kanyadan or get involved in any marriage on Fridays, as it will bring adverse impacts upon the native. The natives of this placement having Moon in 11th bhava should offer milk in sacred places and donate milk to needy people. You should heat a piece of gold and put the same in a glass of milk before drinking it. These natives should offer 125 pieces of sweet preferred peda in a river. Moon in Scorpio. Moon is debilitated in Scorpio, which is a sign ruled by Mars, a fiery masculine planet that apparently shares a friendly relationship with Moon, a watery feminine energy. Due to debilitation and conflicting qualities of the planets involved, this position is not considered positive in Vedic astrology. If you have Moon in Scorpio, you are likely to be frugal with your money, sometimes to the point of being a miser. You are physically not that attractive and nose is definitely not your best feature. Yet, your personality is mysterious and magnetic. You are an overly sensitive and emotional person, someone who is deeply swayed by feelings. You have acute judgment and easily understand your surroundings and people. You are passionate and ambitious, which helps in career but backfires in relationships. You are excessively passionate in love, to the point of being possessive and dominant, which is not always liked by partner. The strong sense of jealousy and possessiveness affects your relationships as you try to exercise control over your partner. Despite being a sensitive person, you tend to keep your own emotions to yourself and never let your true feelings come out. Your mind is often occupied by negative thoughts. You can be quite harsh at times. You are nonetheless a loyal person. 7th Lord in the 11th house. 7th Lord is placed 5th house from itself. It means the person may get wealthy spouse, the person gain wealth in marriage, they gain money with spouse in speculative business. Moon in 12th house in Capricorn Ascendant. Moon in 12th house. The Moon is a well-believed positive celestial presence which bestows pleasing results to the native and brings goodness in her life path. The placement of Moon in the 12th house would bring pleasures and comfort to the person who could cause imbalance in finances at times, but altogether there would be a good picture. The natives of this placement of Moon in the 12th house are truly emotional and sensitive in the social arena, for which they will listen to others' need earlier and will truly feel their pain. They can well understand the requirements of others and try to help people around with their best efforts. On the other hand, they are quiet, reserved and unable to express their inner core as they fear for being misunderstood and hurt and seek for their inner security, for which they feel peaceful in solitude. Their sensitive core is the reason for their unstable personality. Besides being quite fragile from inside, they will also confront instability in their career path due to being quite unclear in their approach, which could bring them periodic retirement at times. They believe in public welfare and would be involved in public institutions, hospitals, government or any other large corporation. The 12th house is ruled by planet Jupiter, who shares a pleasing relation with Moon, as resulting in positive impacts from this placement. This placement of Moon in 12th house would bring positive effects upon the things associated with Mars and in the bhava of its placement, but it could harm the things related to Mercury and Ketu and upon their horoscope placements. Besides this placement of Moon in 12th bhava would bring some unreasonable fear in the native's life and could bring her lack of sleep and peace of mind. The placement of Ketu in the 4th bhava along with this placement would bring adverse impacts upon the native's son and mother. The natives of this placement of Moon in 12th bhava should wear gold over body and should drink milk after putting a hot piece of gold in it. They should remain true in the life path and devoted towards the spiritual aspects, as that will reduce the malefic effects of this placement. Besides this, the malefic effects of Ketu in the 4th bhava could be reduced through offering milk, food and services at the religious places and to the needy people around. Besides which, these natives should never earn money or have business associated with educational institutes and should never help children for free education. Moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a gregarious sign governed by Jupiter that affords the natives with good fortune. Jupiter, which is a masculine planet, shares a friendly relationship with feminine Moon, together balancing the energies. This is a positive placement for Moon as it makes the native determined and balanced. Such natives tend to be spiritually inclined, intellectual and knowledgeable. They like to share their knowledge with others and spread awareness. They have a strong sense of justice too. They seek freedom, both on a mental as well as physical level. Such people do very well in fields like banking and teaching. They tend to be good learners too. Moon in Sagittarius gives an outgoing personality. Such natives are quite in touch and comfortable with their inner self. They have a strong decision-making ability and have an optimistic outlook towards life. Sometimes, however, they are too idealistic. Being a Moon in Sagittarius native, you are not someone who would do anything to be associated with eminent people. You make friends at your own terms. You are quite honest, broad-minded, friendly, outspoken, and believe in the idea of equality and justice. You are naturally good with teaching and preaching. Your sense of observation is quite good and accurate. You are quite resolute and decisive, but at times, you fail to learn from your mistakes. 7th Lord in the 12th house. 7th Lord is placed 6th house from itself. Not good position. The person may have distant relationship with spouse. The person may not have good habits and live in its own world. Spouse can be spiritual in nature and may be of foreign or different culture.